Good morning, everyone, and happy day 12. Day 12 of Vlogmas. Let's try this again. All right, what's up, everyone? Happy day 12 of Vlogmas and day 65 of the challenge. As you can see, I'm in my car, so that means I am en route to work. And let me tell you something before I talk about what I'm going to do for the challenge today. I was exhausted last night. I was so exhausted. Okay, so back in the day, I say back in the day, pre-2020, I used to make this trip 5 days a week, okay? I was also 5 years younger, 6 years younger. But last night felt like my Friday nights. When I come home from campus, I just basically, it's a guarantee I'm going to take an involuntary nap. It's no lie. If I sit on the couch, I don't even have to recline. I'm going to fall asleep. And I felt tired. You know how you just feel tired? You're like, I actually feel kind of tired. And I was yawning when I was driving home, the last hour, which is not really like me. But I was like, oh Lord, okay, how is this going to go when I get home? Because I had some things that we needed to take care of. I had to put in an Amazon order, had some paperwork to sign, and I still had to work out and still basically do my paper. So I did everything. Amazon orders, signed paperwork, hung out with my husband. We were watching WWE because he records it Monday night and then he'll watch it Tuesday night, which, I normally talk to my parents. Well, they had some other activities last night. So the retirees, they kicked me to the curb. That's my joke. But it worked out perfect because I was like, dude, anytime I have thoughts of I really want to call them, but I actually am tired and I've got some things that I need to do. So when my mom texted me and said, oh, we're going to be out, so you don't have to call, I'm like, oh, thank God. But anyways, I got everything done. I had my laptop out. I was all ready to go. Paper open. Was reading stuff, reading the revisions, attempting the research. You guys don't know this, but on Facebook stories and my Instagram stories, I always post just basically what day I'm on for the challenge, because I have a couple of friends that are like, hey, I'm doing a 75-day challenge too. So I just post for accountability and just to share. I barely got that posted as well. Let me tell you, do you know I drifted off on my laptop? I said, now that's a first. That's not just a first for the challenge. That's a first, period. I was like, okay, you're tired when you literally are mid-sentence typing and you're just like, yeah, that was me. So I mustered through. I think I got my 30-minute goal. At that point, I was like, you need to wrap it up and you need to go to bed. I was in bed before midnight. If you know me, you know I'm a night person. So the fact that I was in bed before the light timers went off in our house, not the street lights, the light timers, that goes to show you how tired I was. So when my alarm went off this morning, or alarms, because I'm also that person that needs 4 or 5 alarms to get up. Some days I can get up on 2, but today was like a 5 alarm kind of status. I was like, I'm tired, but I'm also refreshed. I really needed that sleep. And initially I was going to carpool with one of my coworkers, but I just texted her. I was like, girl, go on ahead and go without me because I'm moving on a different level of slow today. Thankfully, I don't have to get gas this morning. My husband, he's so kind and so loving. He'll give me a hard time, jokingly. You always just want me to put gas in your car. You don't want nothing else. And I always joke and say, well, why do I have a husband? If if you ain't gonna put gas in the car. Just kidding. I totally am fine with putting gas in my car. That's not an issue. But usually when I get back and when I have these back-to-back days, and even when I don't have back-to-back days to campus, he's really good about just filling up my car, because every time I go to campus, I have to fill up. So that's just the nature of the beast. So I'm just able to just take off and go today. Of course, I'm going to be notoriously late, but that's nothing new. That it just is what it is type of thing. So, as far as the challenge is concerned, I pretty much am not going to waste my time. And when I say waste my time, I don't want to say I waste my time being on campus. But when we are released today, I'm driving home. I'm just going to go ahead and drive home. And the reason being is I got home at night last night. And of course it's getting darker. So I got home about 6:50, 10 minutes till 7, somewhere around that neck of the woods. And whenever I am not teaching at night, my goal when I come from campus is to get home during the day. Simply because I don't get to drive during the day from campus. That's just not what it is. And plus, I put myself in the same kind of situation. I got to get out of there before the 5 o'clock traffic hits. So if we get out at 2:30, I need to be leaving by 3, basically. So I will be home at like 5. And if that's the case, if I end up taking a cat nap, that's fine by me. I don't have a problem taking the nap. I just cannot fall asleep on my laptop again like that. So anyhow, with that being said, I don't know if I'll say this. I'm probably not going to do CrossFit. I will definitely do either the spin bike, take a walk, or one of Shanti's like dance, weightlifting, beach body workouts that I have on the bike. I will probably do that only because we've had some really chilly temperatures at night, and it really depends on what time I get home. If I get home early enough and the sun is still out and I can just put on a coat and walk, I will opt to do that. But I still may actually lift some weights because I don't know. Even though I was tired yesterday, I still had like a lot of like just energy. Like I was kind of angst, if that makes sense, from just sitting all day. So that will be my plan. And because I don't have any more grading to do, I did write out a list. I went through one of my classes, double checked all of the Padlets with everyone's names on it, and I'm just gonna go through in the grade book and put grades in for that. For those that did not put in, didn't upload, like, hey, didn't do the discussion or did the discussion in class in Padlet, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the grades in for that because it might help a student. May not do anything, may not do much, but I'd rather make sure that they get credit for like work that they did and then just call it a day. So that's the only thing I have left with grading to do. And then I will send out announcements saying, hey, check your grade. And yeah, I'll send that announcement out tonight. And that way they kind of have all day tomorrow to say, hey, something's going on with my grade. I don't know. I like to honestly have about 48 hours. If I wasn't so dog tired last night, I would have entered those grades last night, but clearly that wasn't going to happen. So anyhow, so that's my plan as far as the challenge and as far as fitness. And then as far as my paper is concerned, y'all know I meet with my chair tomorrow. So is she going to be happy or not? Here's the deal. And Dee, you could probably relate to this because you're a writer. And I like to write creatively. I like technical writing. I like different styles of writing, clearly. obviously I like research writing, clearly, but there's just a process that goes along with it. And I don't know what it is with this particular paper, because any other papers I've written in my life, I'm not this meticulous. I am, but I'm not, if that makes sense. I don't overthink it. I just like do what I have to do. And this is very different. I think because I meet with her weekly, and it's very much like this is how we're gonna do things type of energy. It puts a different kind of pressure on me. And for someone who already, like, I am a person that puts enough pressure on myself. Like, I put a lot of expectation on myself. I can say that now at 41. I didn't want to accept that very often, but I do have expectations for myself, and I expect to put out a certain quality of work, and that's just me. And so I'm just not going to slap things together, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to do it. And even though I could probably move through the process quicker, air quoting, I just won't. And it's not an excuse. It's just, to me, well, I also was raised with, which I'm not even going to get into the fact it's probably not good being raised like this, because I'm a recovered overthinker, overachiever, whatever, perfectionist. But I was raised with not just the idea, I was raised with this concept. Like, if you don't get it right the first time, you'll be in trouble type of thing. That was just the expectation. Period. End of story. So when you're raised like that, it manifests in its own way. Sometimes it works in my favor, and sometimes it's the detriment of whatever I'm doing, because I'm so hyper focused on getting it right versus just go ahead and put that paragraph or two that you've already written and like get it revised. And so that's half of the battle of what I've been dealing with this paper. Yeah, so I have to make sure that I finish the revisions that she gave me last week, and I have to finish chapter 3. And like I said, for the last couple of days, I've been working on different parts of chapter 3. I'm practically close to being done. I just need to add more to some of the paragraphs, especially like the data analysis. And the other thing is, this is the thing, even though I've been reading all this research all these years, I still have to interpret it enough to be able to apply what I've learned, and like also be able to make it make sense for my own paper. It's a weird thing. So anyways, that's what I will be doing tonight, and I will probably end up watching not one but 2 Christmas movies in order to get through it. And that's gonna be my day. And then when I get back, you guys know I'll give you guys your travel tip for the day, along with the Avid Day calendar from, my favorite store. Actually, today you'll get 2 Avid Day calendars. You get Sephora and Ulta. We'll be able to do some comparison between the two, because at this point we're halfway through Sephora, and I'm unimpressed. Other than last night's product, I do like the wipes, and the tweezers are good, but I have plenty of face cleansing wipes and all that stuff, but I'm not going to keep that. But the tweezers, I was like, these are actually pretty solid. I would keep these. These are actually practical. But all this other stuff, I'm like, what is this? Anyways, don't let me go down that rabbit hole. So I will talk to you guys later. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys later when we go through our tips and our Avid Day calendars. Later, guys. What's up, everyone? All right, I'm back. I'm no longer traveling. I made it back safely from campus, but I did not get home before the street lights came on. I will say that. I tried, but I didn't leave campus until like 4:25, and then there was like accidents and stalled cars, and I think I saw like 6 cops on the interstate before I even really got out of Tucson at that point. So, yeah. So it just took a little bit longer to get home, but I tried. I did end up talking afterwards, but not as bad as I typically would. So, anyways, I've made it. Challenge wise, I have stretched because I felt like my body needed like a good stretch, and I think I'm going to do some more stretching after this recording before I go to bed, because I literally have been sitting for 2 days straight for like 4 to 5 hours at least of meetings, just sitting, and then on top of that 2 hours going to work, and then 2 hours coming back. So I pretty much have sat for 2 days straight, and my body's like, okay, what are we doing? So anyways, let's get down to business. I have my travel tip recommendation. So Miss D and I were chatting. I can't remember if it was in the comments or in our DMs, but I know she likes Ziploc bags, and Ziploc bags are great for traveling, especially if you're wanting to store liquid items or snacks and you don't want your liquids to spill. Now, let me just say this. There are these like little, I don't know what to call them, but they're like rubber coverings that you can put on your body washes. Like if you're since you're traveling for 2 months, you might want to carry a large bottle of body wash of your soaps, because you don't want to have to buy that overseas. But you want to make sure that when you check your bag, because obviously it's going to be well past the 3 ounces, that it actually it doesn't leak anywhere. And I remember as a kid, because this is long before TSA and everything else, I remember when we were moving, from state to state or overseas, I typically would have like this big bottle of body wash. That's just what it was. Or a bar of soap. But I remember switching to body wash. And I would put it in a Ziploc bag, because the one time I didn't, I had body wash all over my clothes. So I have learned a long time ago that I keep liquids in some sort of a bag. So if there's an accident, and even if it's not a Ziploc bag, it could be a grocery bag if that's what you got to do. But put it in a bag so you can make sure that nothing happens to your items. Also, Ziploc bags can be helpful for just little items and stuff. It could be great for medication. Medication as in like I have my inhaler here. Maybe I want to put like my inhaler, some Tylenol, stuff like that, like just in a pouch, or not in a pouch, in the Ziploc bag. And so it's easier to carry on with you. And then the other thing, I think I mentioned this in one of the videos, but you want to check out overseas their TSA rulings, because I know when I flew to Italy this summer, because we were going through London, and I don't even think it was just because we were flying through London, but you really have to make sure that you are not carrying a lot of liquids, for one, because they're going to force you to put it in this kind of like quart-sized bag, but it's like a little bit bigger or smaller. I wish I would have kept a bag so I could share it with people. But also your medication, you want to verify, because they want all your medication that you have. So if I traveled with this inhaler, I would need to have the prescription box for this inhaler. So what I ended up doing was, actually, hold on a second, I might actually have an example. Okay guys, I'm back. So what I ended up doing is, before my refill of medication that I did before I traveled, I said, you know what, I'm going to save the boxes, because I know I have to have the boxes. I didn't keep everything in the actual box, but I folded the boxes down flat, so it would make it a lot easier to just put it into my actual, my little medication bag that I carry with me. And so I had my nasal spray, I had my inhaler, box, and I also had my Advair spray, so, or my Advair box as well. I had like 3 of these boxes folded down, and then I had the original I kept all of my my pill medication that I take, which is allergy and asthma medication. I kept those all in their original bottles because that's what you're required to do. But instead of carrying all 90, like 3 months supply of medication, I counted out what I needed. And then I went like 5 days over just because I'm like, you just never know. I'm not saying that I could not have traveled with the 90 count. I certainly could have, but I knew I was going to be gone for about, I think it was almost 2 weeks. So I ended up traveling with about 21 days worth of medication just in case, just to be safe. But if I was traveling for 2 months, I would just travel with the 90-day count of medication personally. So that's how I managed with the medication stuff. But I cannot stress enough, make sure that you double check what the rules are on medication. Now, my vitamins, I didn't have to worry about. So it's the prescribed medication that they want to see in the original box. And I also traveled with a liquid medication because I'm on one of the GLP-1 medications. And so that was really interesting too, because when I go through TSA, I'm like, I have a medication that requires to stay cold. And they're like, okay, that's fine. And some TSAs are like, we want to see, you know, they want to touch the ice brick, while others are like, okay, not like they're dismissive, but when I'm flying out of Tucson, I've flown out of there enough. Not that it's always the same familiar faces, but one time I even forgot to tell them that I had the little cooler thing in my bag to begin with, but I was totally fine. The main thing is with TSA, you can only, if you're taking something cold through, it has to be solid. The liquid, if it's more than 3 ounces, it has to be like solid. So taking like an ice pack, it has to be frozen. And if you guys, if anybody is interested in knowing like what's the actual travel like tumbler that I use for medication, like if you're diabetic or whatever, require medication to be cold, I can just share that on one of my other travel tips. Okay, so getting back to, I also mentioned to you guys, I think on Vlogmas Day 2 or 3, that I always do like gifts of kindness every single year. And I have my other part 2. The first part of the gift was, remember, I'm going to be taking out the lip balms in each section, or each one. I'm going to keep them in their little box because see, it actually says you can put to and from on each box. And basically, I'm going to take one out, put it in the bag, but I also still have to go to Bath and Body Works, which I'll do that this weekend to add to the gift. And then I also typically, a lot of my folks like wine, but they like really sweet wine. I am not a sweet wine gal. I'm a red wine, Merlot, Bordeaux. I can drink a cab depending, but I just like a really good red wine. So anyways, instead of getting them like a Moscato or a Stella Rosa, no offense, I went with a different route. They are getting Bellinis. And I thought this was cool because I ended up doing like a peach flavor, strawberry flavor, and a mango flavor. So each person will get a Bellini bottle, and they will get a lip balm, and they will also get a hand soap from Bath and Body Works. And I'll be picking those up this weekend because I have to start delivering everything on next week. I see the bulk of my people next week, so I got to get it together really, really quick. So anyways, I wanted to give you guys an update on my Christmas activity that I have going on. And all right, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the Ulta 12 Days of Beauty 12-piece beauty advent calendar by Joy Bright. Because you guys know, I don't want to say it's a competition, but let's see what Ulta is talking about. Let's see. I might be a little biased because, you know, I like to shop at Ulta. But as you can see, the little boxes on the side, they're all numbered. And so we're going to go with number 1. And I feel like I should have scissors or something to open this. I'm ill prepared. Oh, you know what? I have a sharp item. I wonder what it's going to be. I hope it's not disappointing. And also, I did not look at the back of any of these boxes, so I am legitimately surprised about anything that I'm getting. I just was like, nope, I'm just going to grab the box and call it a day. All right, so, oh, okay, I'm just supposed to do this. All right, here's to number 1. Number 1, right here, we've broken the seal. I wonder if this thing has anything in it. The crystal ball. I don't know. Let's see. What does number 1 have to offer us? Okay. Joy Bright. What is it? Ooh, it's a lipstick. Oh, look at that. That's a good. Ooh, that's a nice deep color. Wow. That, I mean, not that my mom knows about this channel, but I'm like, I might be putting that in with her gift, which I think it's safe to say this because I know she doesn't know that I'm on YouTube because I have not mentioned it to her. But when I do, she'll like watch it every day because she's kind of that kind of a mom. So anyways, I think it's safe to say so a couple of months ago, my parents came down to visit, and my mom is like, she has really amazing skin. My skin, y'all have heard me, like after wear foundation, my skin is just, it's hormonal acne. It's all the things. She doesn't have any of that. Her skin is flawless, but she is a lipstick, eyeliner, blush kind of gal. That's it. And I am the opposite. I'm foundation, used to wear eyeshadow, mascara. Now I just do lashes. I started wearing blush like probably 6 years ago. That was something new for me. I've never really been into eyeliner, and I've always worn like lip gloss and lipstick. Like that's my thing. And so she had said to me, she's like, well, because she had only been to Ulta like 3 times, and every time she goes, she's either with me or she got me a gift card to Ulta. And so I was like, do you want to go with me to Ulta? She's like, okay. So we went, and she's like, well, I'm kind of interested in changing up my lipstick. I'm wanting something that's like kind of a natural look. And because she typically wears like a bold, like fuchsia, like a deep fuchsia color. And so there was a lady there, an associate makeup artist that helped us out, and she was like trying on these MAC lipsticks, and she wasn't really sure how to take it because she wasn't used to seeing herself with like darker shades. Whereas my lips are not dark, like they are dark, but I'm comfortable wearing my natural color per se. Whereas my mom doesn't really wear lip gloss and stuff like that. So to find a lipstick that is more neutral-ish, like more calmer in color, she was kind of like taken back. So anyways, my point is, her gift, I saw at Ulta that they had these like MAC lipstick, like assorted lipsticks. I think it was like 9 to 10 different lipsticks. And I mean, I would wear all the colors. It didn't matter to me. But for Christmas, I'm like, that's what I ended up getting her. And so basically whatever color she doesn't like, then I will probably take it off her hands when I see her in another 6 months after the holidays. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1, but she might wear all of them. She might actually try all of them. And that's kind of the point. My mom is not the person that's going to go out and just like spend per se. And so it's like she'll want to do something, but she's not really going to do it And the idea of like just buying a lipstick just to try it, she's not gonna do that. So I already knew in that moment that I was gonna get her lipsticks for Christmas, because I knew she wasn't gonna go back in Ulta and like pick out that lipstick. And plus she was like, I wear Revlon, which is totally fine. Ain't nothing wrong with a little Revlon in your life. But, and there's nothing wrong with some MAC lipstick either. So, but I'm like, let me be the daughter who loves makeup and just buy it as a gift. And then she can wear whatever shade she wants. All right, without further ado, the moment you all have been waiting for, especially Miss D, because she says, my facial expressions. And when I pull this box out, we all know what it is. It's Sephora. It's the Moving Lights collection. As you can see, I had a completely different reaction with the Ulta box. Completely different. I didn't feel perplexed. I didn't feel confused. I wasn't wondering, why did they give me this item? It was clear. The lipstick is branded. I know it's by Joy Bright. It's simple. So here we are. We're on day 12 because we already did 11. 12 is right here. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see what Sephora is doing today. Is it going to be a good gift? Okay. Sephora Anti-Dark Circles. I mean, I guess. I mean, for those of us that wear glasses, like, this is pretty common. We end up having like these huge bags underneath our eyes. I don't know why. I don't know. But they're not necessarily dark. It's just more or less like my eyes are puffy. But you know what? As many times as I've seen these like dark circles or take puffiness out from underneath your eyes, it's not a thing that I gravitate towards. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that I wear glasses. I'm never not going to be able to wear glasses, so I don't care one way or another. I'm like, I'm gonna have permanent, you know, like just bags underneath my eyes. It is what it is. But because I know Miss D is going to be flying to Morocco, I feel like you need to be ready on the set. So this will be in your gift bag when I mail this package. All right, so we've got Anti-Dark Circle. We've got our our quenching and plumping effect watermelon mask. We have, I keep dropping this pencil every day, but y'all remember the red pencil. We have bubble bath and body wash. We have the hydrating cleansing mask. We also have the white nail polish that goes with the nail art. Big shout out to those that like nail art. We also have the tweezers. Out of this whole thing, this is the only thing I want to keep. The only thing. And it's the one thing that Miss D's like, hey, actually forget tweezers all the time. And I'm like, but my tweezers that I have, they're horrible. The ones I travel with, so I kind of want to keep these. And we have our blackhead remover. And, you know, the whole star of the show, Miss Sylvia. You know, she's always the last one to show up to the party. So, and then from Ulta, we have our Joy Bright lipstick, which it doesn't say what color it is, but just as a reminder, it's like a nice deep red. It's a nice color. I'm not gonna lie. That's a nice color. So, all right, guys, that's all I have for you. I hope you're having an amazing day, an amazing night, and I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas with me. And I'll see you guys on day 13. The challenge keeps going. I meet with my chair on Thursday, but y'all are probably gonna see this on Saturday because I'm a day behind. Well, I'm ahead on recording, but y'all are a day behind the recording. So hopefully we'll catch up this weekend. Anyways, have an amazing day, have an amazing night, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.